fast-moving presidential hopefuls, you are about to see a candidate's view of this frantic process, and an intimate view of the candidates themselves, in their cars and buses, behind the scenes in TV studios and hotel rooms, excited, exhausted, and tensely awaiting the verdict of the voters. The names could be Taft, Wilkie, Kefauver, the time any election year, the place any of several key states. This happens to be 1960. Senator John Kennedy, millionaire, Catholic, Easterner from Massachusetts, is challenging a Midwesterner, Hubert Humphrey, senator from Minnesota, in his own backyard, the state of Wisconsin.
Senator Kennedy. If we can hold the dot till the speaker is retired, campaigning is hazardous enough, but we want to express our appreciation to all of you for coming here today. I think it is a fair question as to why I should campaign really in a sense since last summer, and most intensively since the 1st of January, in only one of 50 states. Well, I think the reason for that is a quite simple one. This is one of the few states in the United States which permit the people themselves in primaries to participate in the election of a presidential candidate.
Kennedy headquarters. Mr. ready with your call. Go ahead.
It was a letter saying pledging himself as one of the Democratic candidates to observe any moratorium on small nuclear arms testing that the president might agree to. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good luck. Thanks a lot for coming over. Thanks a lot. Thanks for coming today. Well, I'll be there. Thank you very much. How are you? Thanks very much, Steve. Listen, thank you very much. Glad to see you this morning. Listen, you were awfully nice there. Never am. Oh, nice to know. Coming back today.
Think over how you feel.
I know. Well, glad to see you. Thanks. I'll tell you as I told you.
Oh, you do that.
Right. Glad to see you, Miss Rose. See you, Miss Rose. Thank you very much. I got your vote?
Yep. Big throw for my kids at school. I appreciate what you're supposed to say that. I know you did.
Senator Hubert Humphrey from Minnesota. How are you, sir?
I'm just fine, and I've had a wonderful reception downtown on the streets of Toma. It's been one of the most enthusiastic and pleasant I've had.
Well, that's very fine. How long do you intend to be in our fair city?
Well, Tom, I am not going to be here nearly long enough.
And,
My good friend Senator Eugene McCarthy, I understand, is really plugging for you, too.
Well, fine. Senator's wife, Abigail, and my wife were raised in the same little town, Waukesha, Minnesota. You probably know where that is. I think both you and Gene McCarthy outmarried yourself. Yeah, they're both in. I know that Abigail's a wonderful woman. I wouldn't be surprised. Well, Senator, now that you're here, and of course our community in this area is strictly farm community.
You see, Alice Chalmers made just a few, so dependable farm implements you want. Stop there at the Mac Implement Company of Camp Douglas, your Oliver Tractor and Gale implement dealer in this area. They're waiting to serve you.
Well, I'll be very frank with you. The question has been asked me if I think that Senator Kennedy will be out of the election. In other words, will not win the election. To be very frank with you, gentlemen, the impression that I gather in and around this area, the answer is yes. I don't believe that he can win in the primary in Wisconsin. Senator Hubert Humphrey will be defeated in the primary election in the state of Wisconsin, and that Senator John Kennedy of Massachusetts will win the primary in our state. I'm Senator Humphrey, and pleased to meet you. My card. I'm Senator Humphrey, just stopping by to say hello. Betcha. Okay, and how are you today? I'm Senator Humphrey. Is this your boy here? How do you do? Hello, son. Good boy. What do you got, a lot of money there? Say, that's just what I need for my campaign. Can I have that? I'm running short. Oh, it's just play money. Well, that'll make me work. Here, I'll give you one of these. You bet. Nice to see you. I hope you'll be at the election booth tomorrow, April 5th. And my name is Humphrey. Blair, Harold Blair, and this is Mr. Blair. Very good. Thank you. If you have as good a judgment in politics as you have for your wife, I'll get you both. Bye. Hello, young man. How are you? What's your name?
Brian.
Glad to meet you, Timmy. Well, I'm glad to meet you. Pleasure. Good to see you again. Yeah. Here you hang here. Lucky man.
Stop this, fella.
How are you? What did you do? How are you, Princess? Take this home and show it to Mama and tell her hello from Senator Humphrey, will you? Tell her to vote for me, April 5th. Okay. Hello there. How are you, young lady? And how are you?
Fine.
Are you working for Humphrey?
I mean, yes, I am, but I'm not voting.
No, but you're going to work for me.
Yes.
Well, you're going to talk to the folks about this,
Yes.
huh? Okay. And your neighbors?
Yes.
Okay. Fine. Good. I'll tell you, if I can just have you girls working for me, we'll win then. That's right. Now, I want you to do that. Tell the folks to tell Daddy Mama hello from Senator Humphrey. How are you? Here you are. You take that home to your folks, will you?
I'm trying.
You do? Senator Humphrey, how are you? Let me give you one of my cards. Folks, hello from me, will you? And my name is Humphrey. Don't you like the Congress reporter, Senator? I talk to the people with votes. What about this Symington thing? What about this? About what he asked me, I don't know. Seriously, Robert Groner, and he's head of the Symington Committee, and he got him in the box today down there, and they had a big panel show, and he announced that they're coming all out for Hubert Humphrey. Very fine. Yeah, but you didn't know about this? No, sirree. All right, sir, now if I can get the Kennedy Committee for me, we can make it unanimous.
He's going to vote for him.
That's wonderful. Hello there. How do you do, sir? Glad to see you. Let me give you one of my cards, sir. Thank you. Hello. How do you do? Nice to see you. I'm Senator Humphrey. I also have this phone. Yeah. Yes, the fingers are on just to touch them. It's just easy, like. Now, kind of intertwine the fingers a little. There, that's it. Right there. That's it, just easy there. And now let's so feel like part of the thing, the Democrats. Let's kind of go let you know. That's kind of smile yet, Molly. Oh, you do it all by yourself. So, a quarter of an inch. Well, a quarter of an inch of cup, so he's smart enough to do it. There, that's it. So, the eyes just above the camera. That's just fine. Now, there's one more here. I'll bring it. Could you switch
swing your body a little bit more to the camera?
No different from the rest of our state, Minnesota.
Right. I have been fish part. I don't think very many parts in the village. On the telephone, we go to our farm.
One of the most beautiful parts of Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's very, very beautiful.
The rolling terrain, wooded, yet nice fields.
I was, South Western North Dakota in 1970. I got out there.
Did you sleepy? Yeah, and speaking right afterwards was, nuts me. I know better than that.
Well, just put your head back and take a little nap before you get to Mendora.
Yes. How far is Mendora?
Well, it'll take half an hour to get over there.
Now the news. A political bombshell has been set off in Wisconsin. The Huntington for President Committee threw its weight behind Minnesota's Hubert Humphrey. This brought a strong reaction from the Kennedy camp. The Missouri senator, however, is said to have had nothing to do with the action of his committee.
Anybody I didn't get, because I guess we're late. Who's it there? If you would write me at the Senate, I'll send you a picture and an autograph and something about the Capitol. Now just write me, Senator Kennedy, the Senate, Washington, D.C. Remember. And we'll send you all some stuff.
2 weeks. This will begin to be green, though, because the snow brings with it a great amount of nitrogen for the soil.
That's right.
And that fertilizes it.
But it's, believe it or not, North Dakota, where our farm is 210 miles. Further north than it.
I have much more identification as an individual in Congress than my friend Jack does. He's never, Jack's identification in Congress has been one group, labor legislation. My identification is that with UN, peace, armament, foreign policy, not just with most recent things, but since I've been there, with broad areas of social welfare legislation. But I agree that you don't project this necessarily. This is the heart of Senator Humphrey's strength. The farm areas of Wisconsin, close to the border of Minnesota. And though he likes to discuss everything from foreign policy to disarmament, here there is only one issue to test the skill of an orator.
Senator, I'm President Village. How do you do? Say, I'm glad to see you, Mr. Gilbert. Thank you so much. Here's Mr. Peaser, the dry cleaner. How do you do, sir? Glad to see you, Mr. Peaser. What is your name? Gunderson.
Hey. How do you do? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yes, sir. Nice to see you. How do you do, Mr. Michael?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Second horse? Oh, yeah. All I know is not I got a lot of Norwegians around here. Pretty good. Well, that's good. Comedy sweets. Does it then, too? I still have my cup of coffee here. After all, I got a couple of Norwegians over here, you see. Since I'm only half Norwegian, they only give me a half a cup, and I wanted to finish it off. Anyway, when you're out speaking, as I have been, why, once in a while a good cup of coffee sort of braces you up for the next meeting. Now, gentlemen, I'm one of the candidates in your Wisconsin presidential primary race. We're going to have an election here Tuesday, April the 5th. Now, this election is, of course, a very important one in terms of your state. Now, my friends, during my service in the United States Senate in 12 years, I have given more time, more attention to matters of agriculture than any other one subject. Now, Senator Humphrey is not out here just to please you by these comments. I say that Wisconsin has lost hundreds of millions of dollars of sales. I say that the businessmen of Wisconsin have lost hundreds of millions of dollars worth of business because of reduced farm income. And I charge here that not a single candidate in this primary election has paid any attention to the farmer at all.
except Hubert Humphrey. And I make that same statement without any boast or any claim. Instead of you reading about who you ought to have as president in Life magazine, you ought to take a good look at them in the flesh. You ought to hear what they've got to say. Because let me tell you something, Life, Time, Fortune, Look, and Newsweek don't give a hoot about your dairy prices. And I know they laugh at you. I've been down to their editorial board, some of them, and I'll tell you they have no more appreciation of a farmer's problem than they have of what's going on the other side of the moon. Frankly, they don't know the difference between a corn cob and a ukulele. I can tell you that my votes aren't very popular sometimes in New York City or Boston. Because back there, what they want when I read the editorials, the Wall Street Journal, Boston Globe, New York Times, they want a price support program that's lower. They say that the farmer is being subsidized. And they look at Hubert Humphrey's record and they say, well, this Humphrey, he's just from the Midwest. He's just for those farmers. That's what they say. They're right. I am. But I'm not, if you please, for a farm program that will destroy agriculture. I think Benson's farm program is insane. And I'll guarantee you one thing, if I get to be president of the United States, I'm going to buy that man a ticket personally and send him right back to Utah, where he ought to live all the time. Now, thank you very much for letting me speak to you. You've been a fine and good audience. Good luck. Safe journey home. We're going on to the cross. And by the way, tune in tonight at 7:30. We're going to have another one of those television shows. And if you got a question you want to ask, just pick up the phone and call me collect. Just pick it up and say, I want to talk to that fellow Humphrey at the TV station at the cross. And put that call through and ask me on the air. And you can make it tough. Make it real tough, because people like it better that way. They like to see me swerve. You make it real tough, and I'll try and give you a good answer. Thanks very, very much. Yes, sir. Good to be with you. I'm going right back. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We'll get that reminded me, I gotta get my coat out of the bag over there, too. I put on the wrong coat. Billy, what you have to do tonight is to be sure to remind these people to call person to person. Person to person, rather than to collect station to station, because we just get all these extra calls. Isn't that the idea, Norm? All right. So that we, yeah. Well, I gave Norm, on his chart. When the way this thing works is the lieutenant governor says, well, Senator, there's been quite a lot of talk about the record. Now, what's this all about, or something? Then I say something about that I put my campaign on the basis of the public issues in the record. And I've been trying to emphasize some of the differences that exist between the Democratic candidates. Here, for example, are some of them. All right. Will this be early in the program? Yes, right in the beginning. All right. And then you focus in, you phase right in on that. All right. And then when I say, all right, now we have a call here. And at that point, when I say, now we have a call, you get off that and get back on me. Last answer must end about 1 minute. Now, Billy, when it comes down before you come to me, you might... thank you for 4 seconds down. Or 5 minutes down. Yeah, just joke about it. Your husband's been wondering all day long where you've been and so on. On the TV. Well, but you're on this show now. And just take about 30 seconds to tell us where you've been, and then you got to come right back to me and say, now, Senator, I want to come on this record, because we want to get on those questions. Right, we want Muriel to have 30 seconds to tell her where she's been and what she's been doing. Yes, sir. Oh, that's suspense. Senator Humphrey. Well, I don't think the family farm is impractical at all. In fact, I would say it's highly desirable, both economically and more so socially. The family farm has social and spiritual values to it that are of immense. You should realize that you are voting for the most important individual in the entire free world, and that the welfare of our country is heavily involved in his good judgment, his sense, his responsibility, his competence, his integrity, his ability to meet the problems head on. Though I'm not certainly the president or a long way from that, I am one of the candidates. There are about 6 of us, and I therefore felt that it would be helpful if the president had at least my assurance, and I'm sure the other candidates. What will happen here in Wisconsin today will happen in the other 45 states. Things will be terrific. On tomorrow, Election Day, every one of the 3,446 precincts will be covered by a Kennedy workout. The hardest thing to do in the Kennedy campaign is to properly harness the enthusiasm it generates. Everyone that meets them seems to like it, and then they all want to help.
This is the heart of Senator Kennedy's strength. The heavily populated city areas, particularly the Polish Catholic 4th District in Milwaukee.
My appreciation to all of you. I know you've been standing for quite a few minutes. I've been standing for 3 months, so I know how tough it is. I also want to express my appreciation to my old and valued friend, Clem Zablocki. He took on the honorary chairmanship of this campaign all over the state of Wisconsin 6 months ago. This campaign really comes to an end tonight. I don't think there's anybody in the state of Wisconsin who hasn't decided how they're going to vote. And I must say it is going to be a decisive campaign. I've said on many occasions that I didn't think it was possible to be nominated if I run successful here in Wisconsin. And I must say I mean it. When the Blocky and I sponsor a bill together, the Blocky-Kennedy bill, as he calls it, the Kennedy and Blocky bill, as I sometimes refer to it. But that bill, which you may not have ever heard about, provides that the Battle Act shall be amended, and it shall be possible for surplus foods and surplus things that we have in this country to be made available to the people behind the Iron Curtain. Now, we would have passed that bill 2 years ago. We would have passed that bill 2 years ago. But it failed by one vote in the Senate when the President withdrew his support on the day the bill was coming up to vote. That's how important the office of the presidency is. He shall determine what shall be our policy on Berlin. He shall determine whether we shall be at war or peace. This is the key office. And I run for the presidency because, like you, I have strong ideas about what this country must do. I have strong ideas about the United States, playing a great role in a historic moment. When the cause of freedom is endangered all over the world, when the United States stands as the only sentry at the gate, when we can see the campfires of the enemy burning on distant hills, that's what this issue today, that's what we are attempting to determine. In the coming months and years, all of us, as Americans, are going to be called out of the ranks, our courage is going to be tested, and I am confident that we are going to give the same affirmative answer. That's what I think this election is about. That's what we're going to begin to do on next Tuesday. Thank you.
Now I understand also that we will be pleased to have the privilege of seeing Bob Kennedy, Senator Kennedy's son.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry that my mother couldn't be here tonight. And I'm sorry that my sister Pat couldn't come. And my sister Eunice. And my sister Jean. And my brother-in-law Peter Lawford, or my brother Teddy. And my cousin Joe Garger, and my cousin Holly. So you're going to have to settle with me. Thank you very much.
He looked much better last night than he did tonight. He has lost weight. When he was on that panel this afternoon, he was good on that panel.
Good to see you, too. Even for you, I must say, don't visit me, please.
On his own record.
That's right.
If you can't go on your own record, you have to business
That's
running.
right. That's right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you. Nice to see you. My pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you. To take criticism.
Listen, and not only that.
Stop this now. You'll have the senator all worn out. Please, don't crowd the senator, please. Let's keep moving there. Thank you. Very good. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good luck, Jack. Election day. The voices of the campaign begin to turn into votes.
I'm for Humphrey, and that's who I voted for today. And I believe in a man. I believe he's sincere on the civil rights program and his progressive instinct that I think that he has. And I think it would be a great thing for the country if he were president.
A factory gate. A few last handshakes.
Primary, not very risky. Fine. My judgment is I never could have been nominated if I hadn't run in primary, so I'm taking the risk. But I would say you have to keep coming up sevens.
know. I feel quite strongly on the religious angle of it, so I probably would not vote for Kennedy because of the fact that he would have an allegiance outside of the United States.
There's no difference either one. Humphrey or Kennedy, there's no difference.
We're hoping for Mr. Kennedy to win today. We're looking forward to a win in Wisconsin, and that'll carry him right on through into November. This will be the start.
I feel I'm in favor of Kennedy very much. I think he's a tremendous man. My husband and I met him the other night down Wisconsin Avenue, and I think he can give us what we need. And being that, I suppose I shouldn't say it, but being that he is a Catholic, and we're Catholic also, I think that has a lot to do with it.
I'm a pretty good judge of people because I'm a cab driver. Well, Kennedy is more for the upper class. I can say he's for the eastern class. Like I had Mrs. Humphrey in cab. The way she put herself to me, it was real nice.
I was surprised that the Catholic issue didn't come up earlier than it did.
Kennedy has stated very emphatically that he will not be dictated by Rome. They shouldn't bring religion into politics. Very correct.
You think they have, though?
I look at it this way, that if he's a God-fearing man, you're a Catholic or Protestant or Jew, I respect him for it, and I certainly would rather have a man in there who's a God-fearing man than he.
No, I believe most people that are Republican will be voting for Humphrey. I think Humphrey sounded pretty good. I really do. He's been doing his share and fighting for the working people all this time, and I think he is going to continue. What's wrong with him? He's younger. No, I don't think he's just good looking just because his sister is married to one guy. Doesn't make him a glamour poster. Why? I don't see what's good looking about him. No. He just happens to be a young boy. He's got good head of hair on him.
Humphrey and Kennedy camps at this hour are almost identical. Each side says it will win in 6 of the 10 districts. Each side says it will win the popular vote. And each side says it will stage a victory celebration sometime tonight.
The first precinct reporting in today's presidential primary gave Senator Humphrey 103 votes to only 16 for his opponent, Senator Kennedy. And on the Republican side, Vice President Richard Nixon drew 35.
14,987. Got a feeling it was over at PM. That's a total of 44% appreciation reporting. 44? 44% reporting at 9 p.m. John, will you ask him one question? What did Nixon do in the 4th and 5th? In 4th and 5th, you mean Nixon? Well, I know, but he didn't take him down. No. 3,914.
Yeah.
5,078 in the 5th. Okay, keep this advice.
Pierre said it's not a correct quote. That isn't an exact quote. Just said I would find it difficult to be nominated. If I lost here, I'd find it extremely difficult to be nominated. I don't care whether they print it or not.
That's Jack. 44 for Humphrey. 63.
First returns in that Wisconsin primary. Senator Humphrey is beating Senator Kennedy by a margin of 2 to 1. And he's outdrawing Vice President Nixon 3 to 2. These, however, are very early returns. They include one precinct where Humphrey was conceded to be strong.
Waukesha is in the 2nd district. Kennedy, of course, is a Roman Catholic. Humphrey a Congregationalist, and Nixon a Quaker. And some observers think that the election is resolved into a religious struggle. But no, that religious thing. It's not every relation-wide apart. See, it makes religion to be of disproportionately importance. Imagine being put a front-page story when under ordinary conditions it wouldn't have been even
Well, it's endemic.
I see it every week.
I see it after all. This was when Jack came out here. This place was locked down for Humphrey. Go ahead. Why does that tell me? Well, let's get him. Right here. That's our baby. Oh, here we are. Now, what do you know?
This would be 8 of the 10 districts. 4th and 5th are up. Nothing from Milwaukee. And it would show Humphrey leading in the 3rd, the 9th, and the 10th. That's the second. Yeah. Now, I suppose what's happened, of course, is that these Republicans are voting for leaving Nixon, voting for Humphrey, right? was November. You're going through this. You don't like to go through this 6 times, do you? 5 times. And then November. The 9th is gone. The 3rd we have a chance in. Not just a chance, really depends on the cross. The 10th we have a chance in. That's right. It's just a chance. The 7th is quite close.
Listen, don't let these guys get you congratulated too early. And they run it. And afterwards they say he thought he was in, but he wasn't. I've been through this before. They seem so friendly. They are, but they're copy desk boys are not always. They're all right. But when I first ran for mayor, I was ahead till 6 o'clock in the morning, and then I ended up losing.
Most in San Miguel are now saying that Humphrey possibly may carry 5 districts. But it's now clear that the chances of a Kennedy sweep have almost slipped away, that it could be a long night for newspaper and radio men covering the election, and that one of the most elaborate and intense campaigns in the state's history could wind up meaning almost nothing.
Hi.
How are you? Glad to see you. Well, we'll see what happens. Appleton, the 11th Ward. 327 for Jack, 92 for Humphrey. 35 for Nixon? That's a great. 50 Oh, you can eat it more than I know. Okay. Kennedy, 21,190. 190. Hubert, 18,575 and 71. The worst we can get tonight is 6 to 4 with a popular vote. And that would end up with 20 and a half to 10 and a half. Out of the National Committee man for Humphrey and the National Committee woman for Jack. So that actually the 20 and a half to 10 and a half would be a 2-to-1 victory for Jack on Delhi. Would be a great victory. Actually, the only one that stood are the people who were talking about Jack taking all 10. Which the possible for Massachusetts story coming in here with Wisconsin. So we go ahead. Jack, go by my side. Wait a minute.
We'll never make CBS unless he really rings it.
The trend is becoming clear. Senator Humphrey's early lead from the rural areas is being wiped out as the big city vote comes in.
Boy, what a thrill it is. What excitement watching these important races tonight. A moment of slight commercialism. I will mention that some other very exciting things are happening right here in our city these days. Kennedy first. Senator will come over here. Not yet, Senator. Not yet.
Walking on here?
Yeah. On the Wisconsin primary. Senator, good evening.
Good evening, Sandy.
How did the evening look to you?
Well, it's all these election nights are. It's a very interesting evening.
How has the vote, as it's been thus far, shaped up according to your expectations?
Well, I was hopeful we could take 6 districts. I think we have a good chance to do that. Which would give us, I hope, and the majority of the popular vote will give us a very good result.
Senator, how do you feel after this exhaustive campaign?
Well, I can't say many minds, but I think we were successful by running against a very hard-working, formidable opponent. My colleague in Princeton, Humphrey, like Casey against him, I'll be delighted, particularly in Wisconsin, which is, of course, the heart of the Midwest next to Minnesota. So we've had a very long, grueling campaign.
What are your plans after tonight?
Well, continue on. Next primary, of course, is Indiana in the first part of May, and I hit West Virginia, Maryland, and Oregon, and Nebraska, all in a short space of 2.5 weeks.
I'm very happy with the whole thing. It makes good.